That's all blur, yeah. 3, I can remember because of the Dementors and shit. 4 was like the Goblet one, wasn't it? I remember the games a bit. But once we start moving beyond that, I remember the dude who turned into a rat. I remember they were hardly at Hogwarts anymore. You know, that whole fucking thing, but that's about it, man, you know. I think out of like the really big popular series I read, probably the most popular one that I actually enjoyed was Inheritance ones or whatever, the Aragon and shit. Those were pretty cool. Well, I mean, I read like Lord of the Rings. I was the only kid in class reading like fucking novels and shit, you know, like those weren't really popular. They're popular in like literature, but like, you know, I'm the only fucking asshole reading that shit. Except like Redwall, you know, more people read Redwall. Aragon shit was cool. I never read the one he made like 6 years later to finish the series out. The movie sucked. Fucking tit, man. I read a lot of just like random fantasy and shit, especially some that my grandpa like recommended. Like I really like the Shannara's. In high school, I liked the Genesis of Shannara. Like that was like the post-apocalyptic fantasy hybrid one. And I have another book in that series, and I just haven't read it. I like the Recluse series. There's a few other ones, like just a lot of fantasy shit I enjoyed. Nowadays, I'd probably want to mix it up, a little bit of everything if I read some more. But I don't. The Legend, I didn't read that one. There's a lot I wouldn't even remember I read. I don't even remember the stories for shit. Just crazy that I could read like an entire like 500-page book and just don't remember any of it. If there's one thing I feel like I wish humans could just have upgraded, was just their fucking memory, man. Like I know my memory sometimes is pretty bad. The amount of shit I give about some stuff, I feel like directly proportional to how much I remember. Like if I don't care like an assload or I re-experience that thing a lot, it tends to just kind of go. Which is crazy thing. I like all these movies and stuff. Probably shit I don't even know, you know, like because I don't remember. Like, there's probably so many things I've seen and done that I just don't even have any idea that I did. Entire books, you know, it's like weeks of sitting there reading. Read it twice. I don't know if I've ever read anything just like especially that big twice. Althalis. Sounds cool. Sounds like a good thing, man. Yeah, let's go get a heal. We've got a shortcut here. Magician Demigod's Towers. That sounds really cool. And so what, they're just like exploring in this like thriller fantasy or something? That sounds cool as fuck. Yeah, I'd like to get back into it. It's on the list, but it's like, I mean, it falls to the wayside, you know? Like, I don't know, would I want to like do manga? Would I want to do like reading more? I feel like I'd want to split those. Those are both cool things, but I feel like movies and shows and games always come first for me. I hardly do any of that stuff, and sometimes I feel like I'm not streaming that much. That seems cool though. To make myself read like at least a few books a year. I thought about reading like some classic literature ones, but like that actually seemed interesting, but it's like, they're probably just fucking boring. Like The Catcher in the Rye and shit. Like, the shit it influenced made me, like, think it would be cool, but I'm like, you know, I should probably just read something that's, like, good, that I like. Just because it was not, you know. Oh, shit, the romance, man. Of course, dude. They always throw some romance in the fantasy ones, man. I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah. Not enough time, man. Just see how that YouTube's doing real quick. If I got any more mad views on psychedelic, 33 subscribers, boys. We're going up in the world. Shit, man, we've quite a few lately. Dude. All in on a psychedelic, man. The Code Realize, dude. That's picking up steam too, man. The boys love the fucking goddamn Tomes, man. We are now the Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. Tips. Atto. I still get viewers on that fucking Jalter one. That Fate one. Amazing. Trying to see how the Strange Journey's doing. Just out of curiosity. Getting more for SMT4. Kingdom. Jeez, somebody watched the entire fucking thing. Getting a little for Redux. 76 views on one Redux video here. It's because I put Womb of Grief in there. That's one of the new areas. So. Yeah. I'm not too worried. I'm not like making it hard. If I cared, I would cut those videos today. Still on my bookshelf. Yeah, I have a bookshelf back at my house, but I've got a couple books here. Not much. The last book I started was in like high school, and I still am reading it. It's the Necronomicon, the H.P. Lovecraft. I love it. I like it a lot. I just am so attached to all these other mediums. I just never get around to it. Damn, dude, that one looks. It's like fucking like frayed at the bottom and shit. Dude, that looks. A tome, man. That's a tome, baby. That's cool as fuck. Feels good whipping out a book like that, man. A fucking Red Bull, man? What is that? It better not be no Red Bull, man. Fucking poker chips, man? What the hell going on in this room? Yeah, we got us some IRL pics, man. From a boy. You judge a man on his hands. It's a long drink. Oh, okay. I need to have some more casual drinks, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Like a bottle of wine here and there. I get like a bottle of wine for like $5. We need to do our RE4 drunk professional again. That was fun. Or when we get time, I'll run Sonic 06 and we can do like a drunk stream of that. Tripper wants to do RE6 again. Or at all. That could be funny. I should have some casual shit here and there. Shit, drinking wine it ain't supposed to be like a big deal. We'll see what happens tomorrow, man. Maybe they're gonna tell me I can't fucking do anything ever, man. I'll be bedridden till the day I die, man. Ah! Ah! How'd your Dragon's Crown go yesterday, Peg? I was lurking in there for a few hours, but I was chilling, so I didn't really say much. Man, when I played the elf, man, it always seemed to like took way more work than any other class to do things. It was cool, but I was like, fuck, man. This class takes some work. I've got like a heat. It's like hot. Like kind of like deep in it kind of feels like a burn, you know? It's weird, man. weird. I don't know what the hell's up. Trying to clear all the quests. Thought I'd just go from fan to 35 at the most. You went deep, dude. That's good, man. Uh-oh. Oh, thank you. Ora, ora. Are you digging it? So there's a couple areas in here we can't even get to yet. Mainly bottom left. Thought there was something up here we could only get to by getting past the chick. Oh no, that's the bottom right, I think. To actually beat her. Get over there. Looks like that's about it. Maybe like... I don't think there was anything in the other realm. The other space-time thing. Ah, this is gonna be how we get deeper. We have to beat the boss to get down there. Alright, let's go ahead and switch out Raptor then. Who do we want to have? I mean, Black Frost still has like good options, you know? I mean, he's like a few stats behind, but overall his stats are pretty good. But I don't know, I feel like I should do somebody else. Not Spriggan shit. Magarula. Probably him. Tatara Kajas and shit. I don't know who we'll be fighting, but... I'm nervous. You guys read much sci-fi? So I always would read like fantasy, or like the teen fiction, or just like fiction, you know, like it's kind of like not just fantasy deal. Man, I'm sick of this fucking combo of assholes, man. Let's not. Okay. That's something I like to read more of. In a perfect world where I actually have give myself time to do some reading. I'm gonna read it again, man. Increting, dude. Now we're talking fantasy. Fantasy words, dude. Oh, what the fuck? Waifu. Yo, booty. Jesus God. What is this SMT or is this fucking Senran or some shit, man? Goddamn. That was a well sectioned booty.
これはフォルマ。ジョージ。データバンクに登録されていないフォルマだ。おそらくこのセクター特有のものだろう。他のセクターにはないフォルマ。あいつはこのフォルマを集めるためにこのセクターに来ている。何に使うつもりかは知らないけど、思い通りにはさせない。このフォルマ持っていくわ。ジョージ、解析を。
I'll connect as a side dungeon story to the main game. They bring her up a lot. She's like the most recurring thing you'll see. people go out of their way to say they saw her, or she'll come and attack you and you have to escape, or, you know, like, she'll come kill you and that's how you end up here. Since they really haven't explained that much of the main story yet, like the overarching, just like what's going on, it's not like hyper connected. Like, nobody knows about the Womb of Grief except him, you know, like, so this dungeon's like kind of just Mr. Oniki's deal. In that regard, it's not really connected at all, but she's mentioned a lot because she goes through both of these things. They try to connect her in. I mean, it's not like you're gonna always be talking about it. It's not the focus, so. But it's a bit for sure. It's just kind of like, oh, we saw that spooky lady. You know, what is she doing here? What is her deal? It's all still in the mystery stage at this point. We'll see probably after the halfway point, right? Or maybe more. I don't think we're halfway. The side dungeons, they're pretty long, you know. Like, I mean, I spent some hours on these. Oh shit! Hey, it's me. I'm just about to. He's like fucking beating his meat. Oh, yeah. Does that actually beat her? This isn't ideal conditions for her. Oh yeah, she ain't doing half as much, man. Alright, she's strong against fire, which is not good for her. So this guy. I'm not gonna do. It's like, should I do -3 or just leave her at -2? Because I think a lot of dudes in this game trigger at -3 to nullify all debuffs. Where if you just let them sit at -2, it's like fine. Oh, evade magic. Right. That's a cool little deal there. Let's not do that till we know her weakness. If we can find that out. Is she dodging all magic still? How long does that last, man? Yeah, see, we had +3, then she fucking destroyed it. Just use it, it's fine. The last one. Alright, we'll just leave ourselves a +2. What's up, Rocky? How you doing today, man? Oh, Wind Breath, Margarilla. Let's do Margarilla, man. $52% pound. Of course. She's leaving at half health. Did she drop her thing? She conveniently dropped the important deal on the ground. We're just gonna do some side dungeon right now. We're going back to the story here in a second. The Marquis of Hell. Marquis or Marquis? Queen.
確かに実りを手に入れてないようですわ。あの人間の仕業ですの？いえ、だったら納得だと思っただけです。それだけの力を持っていれば、人間の一人や二人、これは事件。事件ですわ。私は亡くなった実りを探しますの。お互い頑張りますわよ。
Could she beat her though? I mean, she's gonna just steal it. I gotta imagine it'd be on her. Maybe that'll be the last one we end up getting. Didn't get much in the way of rewards, man. Oh, so she's probably gone now. We could probably re-explore this whole thing. I'd assume. We'll go back and explore once we get down to the next level. Yeah, I agree. I hope in SMT5 if they use sprites at all, for like even just the art, you know, in the menus, it's fully replaced. I like the old guy's art, but it's been used so much that I'm totally fine with them doing a full replacement. It looks too anime? Yeah, I don't like that. They need to keep the style with the human-looking characters. What is it? It's always like an SMT, like humans. They always look like their features are less anime. They're more like real. They're usually like really pale and shit. It's the eyes. Yeah, there's a lot of like Persona shit. Some Persona dudes, usually SMT shit. It's like, yeah, they look more like small eyes and shit. Demeter's really out of place though. It's like some, I mean, she's fine, but she's really, it's really anime. Just like some fucking lolly flying, or bubbly lolly flying around. The waifu shit. I mean, I don't mind like waifu shit, but I mean, that'd be within reason, right? I feel like that's like just kind of an SMT thing, how the humans look, you know? Like the demons, I'm fine with some variety and having them be a little different. With the humans, it's like, that's where you can get that anime look a little too easily. Domino. Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of that. having like super inconsistent art styles. I don't care too much. If the art's good, I enjoy just like seeing good stuff and the variety, I guess. But I'd rather it be consistent. Like, why not, you know? Unify everything and make the atmosphere better. It's not like Fate, you know, like I don't need to just yeah, the story and all that shit's not terribly fucking important. I don't need to see like something different for everybody, you know? Doesn't matter if they're different or not, really. As long as they're creative is the important thing for me, though, at the end of the day. Like the original demons and shit that whatever the normal guy's name is. His shit's really cool, you know? Like a lot of them are pretty creative. Play with the myth pretty well. They're fun. If they just all turn into lollies or some shit, I'd be like, I got a million games I can get that from, you know? Satan with 8 tits? Yeah, man. That's the money, dude. Is it cool? I'm looking forward to it. I liked a lot of the new shit in 4. That was pretty cool. They were definitely like trying, you know. They weren't holding back. They were going pretty crazy. Like some of the angels were like fucking. They're almost a little too nuts, but I mean, they were pretty cool. And like Lucifer was really awesome. This weird fucking dude hanging off his hand or whatever. Let's finish checking out the third sphere here. See if this chick's here or not. Alien meth addict is for, yeah. Fucking skinhead, like. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I like the giant, intimidating SMT3 of Lucifer too. It's just like Satan, just big ass. Or not Satan, there is a Satan, but just the big old fucking Lucifer, just. What's up, you know? Yeah, exactly. It was that's what was intimidating about it. Was just like, I mean, he's just sitting there like looking cool with his arms bowed and shit, and it's just like fucking massive, and the music in the background, like, it's cool. It's kind of like the Brahmin fight in Digital Devil Saga. You're just like flying around, like, you know, it's like it's got scale, man. It feels like it's spooky shit. Yeah, it's like Lucifer's supposed to be, man. You know, it's like. It's the fucking devil or whatever, man. Like, that's like the whole thing, you know? That's good when people remember that and actually do something with it. Yeah, I think SMT4 does boss fights well. They look cool as fuck. They're just like right in your face. And the music is like the shit, you know? They do like the cool little fucking spiels before every fight and right up on you. And usually all the bosses looked cool as fuck. That was mainly the music, really. That was where the money was. And for the visuals, or for the bosses. I liked an SMT4, like I was talking about before, when we played it, the like distance the sprites are from you outside of like battles and shit. They're like more obscured. They're like a little farther away. For some reason that just makes it seem more, like the atmosphere more dark, cool. That's what the original ones do, I know. I liked that when I watched a little bit of them. Obviously with like a 3D one, like, you know, 5, I'm sure will be... You wouldn't need to worry about that, but... Like, they're not right up in your face unless they're important, you know? A lot of Thor going on here. And I guess we can make Ghoul. Some sort of feeling, yeah. Like, I mean, they have to make a conscious decision to put them that distance away, and I think it's a cool thing. It's hard to explain. It's like a really subtle thing, but I mean, that's what makes like good atmosphere, is like a bunch of small choices adding up to something big. I mean, that's the difference between like a great game and an amazing game too. Is just a lot of details that only somebody who knows what they're doing or has like a vision to really pull off. Distance separation, yeah, it's more impersonal, and since it is more mysterious and everything else is really dark, like just the feel is dark, like, I don't know, it makes them seem more spooky. I don't know, not spooky, but you get the idea. Like, you see a sprite and they're up in your face and you see their face, it's like, you know, you get more of a feel for them, but they're like really far away, it's like less personal, and I don't know, more stranger danger kind of thing. It's hard to explain. I think it's the lack of like being able to see a lot of like details and personal shit. Maybe it's the art style too. I mean, it might be part of it. It has like the same looking kind of sprites as like SMT 1 and 2, from what I could tell. Jesus, man, it's like hot. You know, it's like a little bit hot in there, you know, in the chest, man. The lack of details is better the closer up. I'm not saying so alright. It's hard to explain, because in this game they have the same distance from you, but you know everybody on the ship. It's not, you're not like running into random goons in the world, so it doesn't really matter that much. I just think it adds a certain kind of atmosphere. It's interesting. I think for guys on the ship and stuff, it's nice having the sprites come up and talk to you. It's more personal. But in SMT4, if you're watching that, the distance they are from you compared to a normal game, like, they're like really far off, you know, they're not very big on the screen. They're like more obscured, you know, because of how far away they are. I think it added kind of like an interesting little bit of atmosphere. It only adds to the atmosphere in something that's already dark, like SMT, where you're supposed to run into a lot of like strangers and not trust people. It was interesting. Like, I'd have to find a video. I've got my YouTube. That's a good one. It's hard to explain, but they do it in all of the original SMT games too. And it's a small thing, but I think it's kind of cool. I don't know if it's there because that was their idea to do it, or it's just like saves budget, but I mean, I feel like at this point it's because it's a style thing, you know? Ambiguity? Yeah, I think having too much explain to you and too much up front can be a double-edged sword. Like, I like to be in the know, I like things explained to me, but when it comes to, like, world design and leading me along, sometimes not knowing is nice. I mean, look at The Witness. The Witness is an awesome, like, exploration puzzle game because they just kind of free to go figure out what you want. In that sense of, like, mystery and figuring out yourself is nice. Same with, like, La Milana. But I guess that's, like, actual just gameplay and level design, but I think in art too it's like that. That's why people like, you know, like Lovecraftian shit, as it's supposed to be more like incomprehensible, more ambiguous, you know, or like surreal shit like Twin Peaks, you know. Like, I think it adds this sense of style. I think ambiguity is something that really can define atmosphere. It's not necessary for the atmosphere you're trying to make, but it tends to make really atmospheric shit. The non-blank slate MC would probably be waifu shit. Let's be fucking real, dude. It'd be Persona, man. I don't know exactly how that would work. They'd have to make the story really cool. Yeah, we need to see. I feel like, I mean, Digital Devil Saga is like SMT without you know, a blank slate. I guess he's kind of a blank slate, right? I mean, so you're saying like one that talks and has like a personality? Like he's always neutral or some shit? I feel like it's got to be like... I feel like the only way they can make it still SMT and have somebody who's not totally emotionless is give them just like little quirks they do that don't really like show their personality in one way or another, but they just kind of do little fun things. Like in SMT3, it's just like meme shit because like his punch and stuff, but like in this game he doesn't have much. But I mean, if you start giving them too many personality traits and quirks, then you start kind of destroying the alignment kind of thing. An actual written MC? I don't know. I mean, that's blank slate in almost every SMT game. Digital Devil Saga is probably less so. Digital Devil Saga is kind of like Persona. They refer to the character, they have important things happen because of the character, and like they show emotion, but they're still pretty damn emotionless. I don't know how it would work. I feel like it would kind of like... I mean, you gotta think about the things, I guess, that define SMT. I mean, you start removing a lot of those, then it just turns into a normal RPG, but I feel like SMT has enough identity outside of just the blank slate MC that you could still make something cool. Maybe with a written MC. It'd have to be a very not traditional story. It'd have to be very like surreal or dark or something. I don't think they could do like a in-your-face anime story with SMT as much. Not have it be kind of weird. I can't find like a fucking human, but just, I mean, you could look up SMT 1, 2, 4. When you're talking to random people, they're kind of at a distance. I don't want to break the stream too much while I'm looking for video. Oops. I think it's kind of cool. It's a small thing. I'm not like attributing it anything fucking huge to it. I mean, just an extra little thing of atmosphere. I'll show you what I mean when we get back to the ship. But the difference with the ship in this and SMT4 is that you know everybody on the ship in this. They're not just strangers, which is kind of the point. I guess that is an important thing. I think that distance only really matters because they're not going to be like important characters. And as you're kind of like journeying around, they're supposed to be like just people you see for a bit and kind of mysterious. Like if character gives the MC some character. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, outside of just like self-insert shit. I mean, I don't think there's like a person who's just like, just blank, you know. I feel like it's impossible. Like, even somebody who's blank is still a person with the personality. So I mean, you can kind of like attribute little bits of the writing to like his unique personality. I think it's the magic of self-insert. I think it's more self-insert shit. Like, you know, he has the pause when he talks to Alexander because the guy's got the... He's trying to date, like, you know, demon chicks and shit, and he does like the pause, and they say that the main character in this is always reacting, and they tell you what the reaction is, but you don't like see it, you know, like they still give him like little bits of personality and shit, even as a blank slate, and you kind of like form it a little. Like, I don't actually like self-insert it as him. I say me and I a lot, but I never like, I'm like, oh, I'm the guy, you know. Like, I still consider him a certain way. Like Persona 5, he's a blank slate guy, but he does like an ass sort of like, you know, I guess that's not the same. That's not really your point. They give Persona 5's main character a lot of personality. Cool shit, you know. Yeah, no. I mean, even just being like a deadpan guy is still something. You could just think of them as like the quiet, like stoic person or something, you know. The duty bound kind of guy. Before NAMC is pretty great, yeah. I always like when they do blank slate characters or like the deadpan guys, but like they throw them in comedy situations. Like in this game, like when they just randomly do like weird reactions and like funny things. Like they do that in P4, and like he'll eat some fucking food and just freak. Or in this game, you know, where he like pauses the music and shit when the guy's talking about his girl. Stuff like that. 0.5 out of 6 tell me that FGO MC is in blank slate. I mean, is it blank slate? It feels more like it's just shit. I don't know, like they just write like, I mean, it's probably fucking grossly different from the Japanese version too. Like the writing's all meme shit and like stupid jokes that mean the same thing no matter what dialogue option you pick. That shit's like I mean, I don't have any sense of what the main character even is in FGO. It's like beyond blank slate. It's not even like in existence. I forget there's even a fucking main character sometimes. It's just the Mash is like, yes senpai, to battle senpai, and then you just kind of like do random shit. Like they're always talking to you, but you're just like a vehicle, you know? You're just along for the ride. You're supposed to be important, but what do you actually do, you know? Maybe you do stuff later. I guess it's blank slate. It's blank slate done poorly because you don't really get to craft it in any way you want. It's just like random meme bullshit. Damn, dude, that's pretty quick, man. I couldn't even comprehend that sentence. That amount of time. See how they're kind of farther away from you? They're more obscured. And this, it doesn't really accentuate, add to the atmosphere. I mean, it's fine still. It feels very SMT, but I think in 4 it added to it more, where they're kind of like sitting farther away. Like these guys, I mean, they have sprites. You talk to them, you know who they are. You're personal with them. It doesn't feel as much like a like it really adds anything, but it's like this, but with like a post-apocalyptic Tokyo. I think it's kind of cool. It's something I like. Whether they intend it to be like that or not, I don't know, but I mean, they'd have to intend it to be like that. They're like fucking 20 miles away. Look how far fucking away she is. I think they had sprites in the original. Yeah, I could see them not having sprites. Seems like a lot of extra budget. But they for a new game, but if they're just remaking it, it's an easy addition. I think it adds a lot of character to them. I think it's a good addition. You know, like SMT, usually there's a few characters, but like there's not that many, and they don't matter that much. But in this game, it's very much about people on the ship, you know, like the crew. And I feel like giving them sprites and shit adds personality, and you kind of feel the crew a little bit more. You got like a team going against all of this shit stuck in the Schwarzwald or whatever, and I think that's a good thing. A cool little addition. This game cares a lot more about its side characters than the other SMTs, really. When the other SMTs, it's like the side characters are just like the other alignments, you know? Like in this one, at least. Even if they don't do a whole lot, they're still like... You know, you still get like an idea of who they are and shit. Who wants to fuck demons? We gotta find a demon chick, goddess of fertility or some shit riding on a camel's back. He wants to ask her for advice. I haven't seen one yet. And if I have, you guys can tell me, I just don't remember. He's doing good. He's down, man. He's feeling down. Well, he'll make it, man. He got completely destroyed by the first few, and then he ran away from the one that would have actually been with him, and now he's looking for advice. Yeah, he's got fucked, man. The funniest one was the Willem one. She said she was sucking his soul in his dream. She usually only takes a little, but his soul almost came clean off because he was such a pussy. I actually gotta laugh at that, man. If they want to be funny in these, they can be. Maybe it's because it's always so serious, like little bits of comedy are kind of cool. Not like a shitty Marvel movie where it's like they have to throw a quip or like a joke into every serious situation, but like it's so rare in this that it's like kind of makes it the comedy better. I don't know. Like Damani Ho is funny as fuck, but it's also because it's just like Kilo Jack Frost talking like a fucking asshole. Yeah, hopefully we can find the camel's back one. Comedy in serious situations why slice of life works in some games? Yeah. I mean, in like real situations, you're not always in like a serious scenario. Sometimes there's time for funny moments or just chill moments. I think it's like it's shitty when it's like Fate Stay Night, like the original, where it's like it's too like serious slice of life, and you know they're like all equal length and shit. I think it's just how they work it in there and how they write it, the scenes themselves. Yeah, I feel you. I kind of went and started talking about slice of life there. That might have been not the point exactly, but... Is that Persona? Pretty much, man. But, I mean, SMT is always like apocalyptic or like weird, you know, surreal or otherworldly like environments. Where Persona is always very grounded, well, except dungeons, you know, like SMT slice of life, like, I mean, Would you just be cooking, hanging out, cooking up some like fucking apocalyptic pork or some shit, you know, that kind of stuff? I think it would be different. It could be cool. The settings are different enough. I mean, they all start in the real world, but they end up somewhere pretty different, I'd like to think. Does this ever run out? I'm guessing not. Yeah, it's pretty much Persona. They're already in development on Persona 6, right? But I mean, they always start the next one shortly after the other one. I mean, of course it's in development. Who knows how long it's going to take. I doubt it's going to take as long as 4 to 5. They'll probably reuse a lot of assets for 6. Four to 5 is like wildly different, like in style. Like they add so much shit and crispify everything so much. I'll be curious to see how they like take something with similar assets and still manage to make it feel like it's a big leap or really different style still. Is it gonna be Green Man this time? Finally be in college. If I was supposed to be, that'd be cool. They love their high school though, man. I reach the end of the schedule. They could do college and then you could just have like wildly different school hours. So you have to plan your like school times too. You got a 3-hour class at fucking 8 p.m. today. Wahoo! Is this fucking app OP? I think it might be. 10 p.m. to 10 p.m. War. Dude, I had a lot of those. Be like fucking 8 a.m. one day, then like a 3-hour class like 7 or 8 p.m. the next day. This was a good sub admin. Already gotten virtue in the past. Terraria Labs your life? Fuck man. That's what you gotta do all the time? Fuck that dude. I only had Midas degree and shit. I didn't have an assload of lab classes. I had a lot of 3-hour classes that were just lectures. Just 3-hour lectures. But usually the teachers were cool and you only were there for like 2 hours. So. 8-hour lab days? Yeah, no, I didn't have much of that. My degree's a little more weak compared to your guys's. 3-hour lectures are rough. It was only doable because the teachers were cool as fuck, and usually they don't want to be there either that long, so it doesn't last that much. But it's a lot. I mean, it's like a full week's worth of shit in one fucking day. And I mean, she was a cool teacher, but she still was a hard ass. So it was like, they're just sitting there like, fuck, 3 hours, man, you know. And it's been like 6 hours since you've been in class again, you know. So it's like. But usually if the teacher's cool, they understand that like it really sucks. Even if it doesn't suck for you, they think it sucks for you. So you like tend to get out of class a lot, which I thought was cool. I'll do it again. The one I remember the most was deviant behavior. That class was interesting. It talked about like hookers and like just like weird like taboo shit. And how it relates to like social sciences and stuff. It's pretty educational. The teacher did a lot of studies, like field studies and shit, and interviewed a lot of like hookers and stuff, or porn actresses and shit. Like their lives and coming back into society and stuff like that. It was pretty damn interesting class. Ethics was always a cool class too. You had to take a little philosophy, you know. For most, you know, degrees. Ethics was pretty great. Cause ethics was like, it would just, you would just bring, it was like, you know, like talking and debating shit a little bit, or bringing up like ethical issues like abortion or something, yeah. And fucking A, you know, it's college too, so everybody's fucking individual, right? You know. So you bring up like, oh, this week we're talking about abortion. I'm like, I gotta be in class this week, you know, because everybody just people getting so like everybody gets so butt blasted, man. You know, like, people just can't chill, so people get like fucking pissed or like just little disagreements all over it. It's pretty great, and I'm just like, I'm not doing the back right corner, just like, you know, I'm sitting there doing homework, but I'm like listening and shit, you know, it's great. My ethics teacher's favorite movie was like Blue Velvet, you know. He was like, so he was pretty into it. He was a good speaker too. Of course, we got assignments like it was your only course you attended. Yeah, well, I hated that. Or the teachers think their class is like fucking just grossly more important than any other class. Like it's the only one, you know. And they're gonna like reform education on their own by giving you ass loads of fucking work that may or may not even be important. Like I like my geology one. Geology, whichever the rock one, you know, rocks and shit, earth. Yeah, geology. I think it's like the most fucking important thing I ever. And it's like, hey, it is important. You know, it's cool, it's great, but like, you know, be real too, man. Like, I didn't like the teachers that thought the best way to teach was just to like keep giving you more and more shit and work and stuff. I feel like teaching and education is kind of like, I feel like there's so many better ways to do it, and the way it's done right now is like super not optimal. But some people think it's like the best way, you know, so they just like overload you with shit, like it's gonna help you out, like just memorize millions of things and, you know, don't interact with the material at all or apply it to any real situation. You know? Like overly traditional, you know. College University of New Mexico, people bring giant ass pictures of supposed abortions and set them outside. Jesus, man. Yeah, I think there was a lot of protests and shit like that after I'd left. Well, I didn't pay attention for shit. I hated college, college life, you know, like, college culture. I didn't give a damn. I just went for the classes, and then I came home and, like, streamed a game, you know? But yeah, I mean, people nowadays are so butthurt about everything, like, it's way extra now. I'm glad